I guess this should be my very first review on one of my favorite TV series, Star Wars The Clone Wars. As I mentioned in my theory video, at first I really thought that it was a typical kids cartoon show, but throughout the seasons it's a very interesting show that every Star Wars fans like myself can adore this show. I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite episodes known as The Wrong Jedi. So the episode starts after Ahsoka has been captured. Tarkin has suggested that the Jedi Council should expel Ahsoka so she could be put on trial and be executed for her crimes. Which of course the Jedi Council did agree on these terms, but it is very understandable that Obi-Wan Kenobi thought that it should be fair that she should be heard first. But of course, as we all know, the Jedi Council is not perfect at this point. And I will get to that very later on in this review. Then we get to the scene where I believe this was a very good bonding between Ahsoka and Anakin, where Anakin does believe that Ahsoka is innocent for the crimes that she stands accused of. It really amazed me to see that throughout this series, the master and student relationship between Ahsoka and Anakin is very admirable, and it does show very wonderfully in this episode. And of course, once the trial has been set in motion, it was already revealed that they have already made their decision, and this trial was just formality, and they basically sentenced her to be expelled from the Jedi Order and to be released under the custody of the Republic. The scene right here where Anakin yelled at the Council's arrogant decision on expelling her from the Jedi Order without trying to understand that she was framed of a crime that she never committed, and the moment that the Jedi Order had made this trial for formalities and just immediately turned their backs on Ahsoka when she needed their time for help really showed that his corruption to the dark side is being slowly revealed in this scene. And the expression on Ahsoka's face alone clearly shows that she felt betrayed by the order that she swore allegiance to serve the Republic, and the order that she believed in would turn their backs on her when she was innocent of a crime. And the next scene right here, we see that Anakin and Padme came to Ahsoka's prison cell, where Padme revealed that she would be the lawyer for Ahsoka's trial, and Anakin also revealed that he's going to find the true culprit between the bombing of the Jedi Temple. This is where he went to the underground world of Coruscant and confronts Asajj Ventress, which she revealed that Ahsoka contacted Barriss Offee of the Jedi Temple, which of course Anakin confronts Barriss Offee, and Barriss Offee was revealed to be the true culprit of the bombing of the Jedi Temple. Between the duel between Anakin and Barriss Offee clearly shows that this was the true moment you get to see Anakin Skywalker's dark side being shown in the duel. He was furious that Barriss Offee, Ahsoka's best friend, would turn her back on Ahsoka Tano and framing her of a crime that she never committed. I really love how the creators of the Clone Wars series shows Anakin's dark, aggressive, Cien/Gem-So ability against Barriss Offee, and this is the true side of Darth Vader that we all love to see in this franchise. During Ahsoka Tano's trial, Admiral Tarkin suggested that the Republic would sentence Ahsoka Tano to death for the death of Republic citizens and the bombing of the Jedi Temple. But before the sentence could be carried out, Anakin revealed the evidence, and Barriss Offee confessed that she was the one responsible for the bombings, and even made a statement that she did it was a sign for the Jedi have become the enemies of the Republic and fighting for the dark side and falling from the light that they once held so dear, and that in a matter of time the Republic would fall into ashes, which Barriss Offee has been taken into Republic custody. And of course, the Jedi Council of course apologized to Ahsoka Tano for falsely accusing her of a horrendous crime, which of course, judging by the tone of Ahsoka's facial expressions and the way she crossed her arms, was clear sign that she did not buy any of their apologies at all, aside from Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. When Anakin Skywalker offered Ahsoka to return to the Jedi Order as his apprentice, this scene really hit me hard when she just closed his hands, and the expression that Anakin had shown, it clearly shows that she had made her decision of not returning to the Jedi Order. And her expression here was pure evidence that she does not want to come back to the Order that turned their back on her in her time of need. And the scene where Yoda just shuts his eyes and lowers his head clearly shows that he realized that the Jedi Order really screwed up big time. That they turned their backs on someone who was clearly innocent of a crime. That they just turned their backs on her and was willing to let her be sentenced to death. And now we get to the scene that every Star Wars fans can agree that this was a very emotional moment between Ahsoka Tano and Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars in history. Now, the fact that Anakin trying to convince Ahsoka not to leave the Jedi Order and to rethink her decision is clearly evident that he did not want to lose his best friend, and let alone his only student that he had ever had. And the way that Ahsoka is like, I can't stay here, and I have to sort things out in my own way without the Jedi Order, without Anakin. This really did make Anakin understand Ahsoka in many ways, and even said to Ahsoka that he does understand more than she realized, and understanding that he too wants to walk away from the Order at one time. And by the tone and the way that the shadow shading of Anakin Skywalker is clearly shown that this is evident that he is being slowly pulled to the dark side and slowly foreshadowing the events of Revenge of the Sith. And the way that Ahsoka just turned to Anakin and just simply said, I know, which this is evident that she knew of Anakin and Padme's marriage and basically supports it. And then we cut to the scene where Ahsoka walks away from Anakin with a single tear falling down from her cheek while Anakin just stares as she leaves. And the episode ends with her leaving the Jedi Temple while the atmosphere of the sky foreshadowing the dark future that is to come of Order 66. And that was The Wrong Jedi. And what are my thoughts on this episode? Well, personally, I really love this episode. The animation, as always, is perfect. The storyline is extremely perfect and roller coaster of emotions. And I honestly recommend this to every Star Wars fans who want to see an emotional Star Wars episode. And if anyone wants to know what happens to Ahsoka after this, well, I recommend that you all read the Ahsoka novel and then watch Star Wars Rebels, because it does continue the story of Ahsoka Tano. And I am very glad that they revived Star Wars The Clone Wars again, because we're going to see what Dave Filoni originally planned of Ahsoka's epic battle between Darth Maul and the Battle of Mandalore. But let's see what the future holds on that. If you guys want to see more content like this, be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, and be sure to follow me on Twitter and every social media, which the links to them can be found in the description. And be sure to hit the little bell icon to get notified of new videos. I am Ben Maza. May the Force be with you all, and have a good day.